My name is Wolfgang Gentzsch. I'm the chairman of the ISC Cloud Conference, which takes place in Heidelberg this year at the end of September, 29th, 30th.
Hello, my name is Sverre Jarp. I'm in charge of the ISC Big Data Conference that will follow immediately after the Cloud Conference. So we have 2 days on October 1st and October 2nd.
So about the program. We start with a tutorial about hands-on getting into the cloud, so that you really learn every step from your workstation, for example, from your desktop, going into the cloud and then getting the data back. And then we continue with research and industry sessions presented by very experienced end users, resource providers, software providers and consulting companies who report about their expertise and lessons learned in the cloud. And finally, towards the end, we discuss challenges and how they have been solved in the cloud, so that you really go home with a bag full of lessons learned and recommendations from this conference.
In the Big Data Conference, we're going to build on what we've already discussed here at ISC in Leipzig. So we're going to continue talking about how big data problems are being solved, talking about several successful use cases. We're going to do a deep dive into Hadoop and the best ways of using Hadoop and especially speeding it up. We're going to talk about an interesting topic, which is privacy in big data. What are the rights of the people who are being swallowed in large quantities by corporations gathering all the data they can about every individual. Here at ISC in Leipzig, we've talked a fair bit about the core of a big data configuration, but we're also going to talk about the edge. So we're going to talk to companies like car manufacturers about the Internet of Things, how billions and billions of sensors are going to be deployed in a big data scenario. That's, I think, going to be very interesting, and people are going to start realizing that big data is on a long stretch. It's going to become more and more pervasive and going to have more and more influence on our society. Of course, we'll have the vendors, so we'll have some discussions in depth with the vendors. And finally, we have an EU project called the Big Project that's going to do its final report at our conference.
So you mentioned security, trust, privacy. That is certainly something which is also very valid and very important in the cloud. So we cover that one as well. And those who join both conferences, they will observe a merger of HPC, technical computing and big data, especially when it comes to data analytics, because where you need a lot of computing, and also predictive analytics, where you use the big data to compute, to extract knowledge and expertise out of these data sets, then to predict what happens in the near future, for example, with your customer base or with your manufacturing production line, etc. So you mentioned the vendors. We are very happy and proud that especially Intel, HP and Amazon this time are the premium sponsors of the conference, those which we call platinum. And then we already have gold sponsors, silver sponsors, and we have discussions with these vendors as well in a vendor panel to get their opinion from the provider side. Because, I mean, we have them all. We have the end users, you may say the consumers, and then we have the resource providers, the software providers, and the experts, and all together basically build the overall community we both basically are covering.
So let me add that, of course, we also look heavily at analytics, and this time we're also concentrating on the visual part of the analysis. We're going to be serious all day, but we're also going to have a social event.
Oh yeah.
I'll let Wolfgang talk about his arrangement, but we're going to go on a boat ride on the Neckar, so that people actually at the end of the day also get a bit of time off to relax and have a good time in a wonderful scenery on the Neckar.
Yeah, and we will have a barbecue at the Neckar River at the foot of the famous Heidelberg Castle.
That sounds great.
Okay, and by the way, if you want to know more, I mean, we have this prospectus. You have it too, I guess. So, yeah, right.
Is mine bigger than yours?
Right. ISC Cloud, ISC Big Data. And we have a website where you can read further details. And we hopefully welcome you all to the ISC Cloud conference.
And ISC Big Data. And don't forget, you actually get a rebate if you sign up for both.
Thank you.